morning. Glad to be here. I'm, like she just introduced, the director of IT at US Sugar. I've been there for 17 years. We implemented Neptune software about a year and a half ago, and it has been by far one of the best software solutions that we've implemented since I've been there. So I'm very excited to go through the process of how we identified Neptune as a solution for us and some of the projects that we've been working on. Okay, so for the agenda, we're going to go over US Sugar, just give a brief introduction of our company, go through our user experience and mobilization initiative, um, discuss how we extended equipment maintenance to the field using Neptune software, and then go over the SAP UI5 accelerator and talk about some of the future phase projects. Okay, well, there was going to be a video here, but it's not loading, so we'll just talk.
For more than 85 years, the people of U.S. Sugar have been planting, growing, and harvesting nature's sweetest gifts. Local food grown right here in Florida. Food from American soil for American families. U.S. Sugar, pure and sweet from our family to yours.
All right, so US Sugar's been around since 1930 in South Florida in the United States. We produce about 10% of the sugar that's sold and purchased in the United States. We also produce sweet corn. We're the largest sweet corn producer in Florida, and we have a citrus operation as well, so we do orange juice. We have 270 square miles of land that we have to farm, and we have a Wi-Fi system that covers all of that land. That's about 430 kilometers or so. And we have over 2,500 employees. So US Sugar, since I've been there, has been constantly trying to implement technology to grow the business, but it's a little bit different than other companies because we only have really one customer. So we're not really trying to innovate to produce additional sales or to create new products. Really, we have to leverage technology to help the company by reducing operating costs or to improve employee efficiency. So one of the main things that we've been looking at to try to help reduce operating costs and improve efficiency is the user experience that employees get to use whenever they interact with a software solution. We use SAP, and we've been on SAP since 2007. And our employees constantly complain about SAP because they say it's hard to use. Anytime we want to do any enhancements, it's very expensive, and it takes forever to implement these enhancements. So we said, how can we improve user experience? We want to make sure that it's easy to use, allows them to be more productive. We don't have to spend a lot of time training them how to use it, and we want to make sure that we can get the data coming in to be very accurate. So on the employee side, we can see that if we can improve the user experience, it will give them better user satisfaction, it'll less resistance to change, and it will help grow the relationship between IT and the business, and we're not like a roadblock or somebody that's forcing them to use SAP all the time. So when we were looking at the different categories of users, we tried to split them out into different types based on how often they have to use an application, and then what do they do once they're in the application. So if they're constantly in the application and they're doing a lot of different transactions, we want to try to make sure we give them a rich client, that they have full features to really allow them to navigate through an application easily. But if they use it very rarely and they just need to go in and do the same thing over and over, then we try to push out either a web application or a mobile application so that they can quickly get in, do what they need to do, and get done. So the main problem that we were focusing on about a year and a half ago was in our maintenance department. So like I said, we have the fields that we have to support cover about 250 square miles. And let's say a tractor breaks down out in the middle of nowhere. We do have the Wi-Fi system that will allow the tractors to send data back and forth, and they can use laptops in their trucks. But a lot of times they'll have to get out of their truck, walk into the middle of a field, and go look at a piece of equipment. It might be a tractor, a harvester, whatever that may be. They want to be able to describe what the issue is with that piece of equipment, record where its location is, and maybe even take a picture. Well, in the past, it was very hard to do that because if they walked out into the middle of the field, they weren't going to take their laptop with them. So they were going to have to write all of that information down, go back to their vehicle, power on their laptop, connect to the Wi-Fi, or if they were in a spot that didn't really have good coverage on Wi-Fi, they'd have to drive to somewhere that did have good coverage, and then be able to log in and submit their data. So in order to get around that, we worked with a company called Nimble back in, I guess it was 2017, and we were at Sapphire, and as we were going through, they said, well, you should check out Neptune because they have a very cool mobile application that's easy to use and easy to develop with, and I think this will help in this project that we're looking at. So we did, and we moved forward. We purchased Neptune. We were able to work with Nimble to be able to roll this project out very quickly. I mean, from the time we purchased it to QA to production, it took about a month, 2 months at the most to get to our test group. And so we wanted to make sure that whatever the solution was, that it was mobile enabled, that they could still use the application if they were in an area that didn't have good cell coverage. So if they were in a dead spot, they could use it in an offline mode. We want to make sure they could take pictures and attach it to the issue, and also to be able to record the GPS location. Because like I said, with the 250 square miles, it could be like finding a needle in a haystack if you have a new maintenance guy that's needing to go out there and repair a piece of equipment. He doesn't know the field numbers. So being able to capture the exact location using GPS was very critical for us. So we decided to move forward with the Neptune software, and this was some of the architecture stuff that they probably went over in more detail than I ever could. So we'll go through that. But the main thing is it can run on iOS, Android, Windows mobile devices, desktops, any kind of device that we need to support, it would work in an offline mode as well. So that was what was key for us. So we've rolled out the Launchpad and the client to the phones. As you can see here, the Launchpad, it looks very much like the Fiori interface. So then we rolled out the maintenance notification list. And what this allows the end users to do is it'll run on their phone, like I said. So we mainly use Apple devices, and so it'll work on iOS, but we do have a few people that run Android, so it supports that. It works in offline mode, and it allows them to be able to take the pictures and capture the location. It interfaces on the back end to SAP, to IW21, 22, and 23. And you can see here it has like a master detail type layout. On the left-hand side, it has the filter criteria so that they could pull it up, put in the date range of the notifications that they're looking for, maybe a functional location or the type of maintenance notification that they're looking for. When they run it, it'll give them a list of all of the maintenance notifications that meet that criteria. They could select one of them and drill into the details. And this is very similar to what it looks like on the phone whenever they go to create a new notification. It has the little icons across the top that allows them to go from different sections of detail so that everything's not just cluttered up on one screen. But it allows them to quickly take a picture, attach that to the notification, fill it in directly out in the field, grab the GPS location, hit submit, and the data's right into the maintenance planner's hands, and they can start scheduling work to get it back up. And this is key because in the old process, they might not want to go all the way back to their truck, log in, connect to the Wi-Fi, and do it right away. So they might queue up a whole list of maintenance notifications that need to go in until the end of the day. They might get busy at the end of the day, wait till the next morning. Well, if we have a harvester down and we have a couple tractors down, we're losing productivity. We operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week during our harvest season. So anytime we have equipment down, it's impacting our business. So this allows them to quickly do it on their phone. And like I said, it took us about a month to 2 to roll it out to our test group. But then it went really quickly to the rest of our group because we were planning on, okay, we'll test this with this group of people and we'll train them how to use it and support it for maybe 6 months, and then we'll roll it out to the organization. Well, after maybe a week or 2 of giving it to the test users, we already had a lot of people calling into the help desk. Hey, I heard that there's this application I can use that allows us to submit maintenance notifications on our phone. Can I get that? Can I go into the test group? And so we really had to accelerate our timeline just because of user demand. So it really did help bridge the gap between IT and the user community because they actually wanted to use it. And it's one of the first times we've developed an SAP integrated solution that went that smoothly. So after we finished that, we've identified a couple of other projects. This project here just recently went in, and this is for our cold storage shipping area for our citrus plant. So they have a traceability requirement so that every time a drum comes off the production line, they have to put a seal on it. And then they need to track the drum number and the seal number to make sure that the product hasn't been tampered with on the way to delivery. So it was a very manual process. They would have to write down all of these numbers. I mean, and they're like 8-digit numbers on each side, the drum number and the seal number. And they were writing it down on pieces of paper. And we're going through, I don't know, maybe about 3 drums a minute. So they'd have to record all this information, key it into a spreadsheet. Then they'd put all of the drums into the storage area. Then whenever they'd go to ship it, they'd pull all these drums out. They'd go through it again, writing down all the numbers to verify that they're still the same. Key that into Excel. They'd produce a shipping manifest, and the shipment would go out. And it would take them about 3 hours to do 1 truck worth of product. So with the new solution, we've developed a Neptune app that will allow them to either use the camera integrated on a mobile device or another external barcode scanner, but they can scan the barcode on the drum, scan the barcode on the seal. It matches those up, sends it into SAP into a table for inventory. Then whenever they go to ship the product, they pull out the drums for the delivery. They scan them to verify that everything still matches. It produces the manifest, and the product goes out. And again, this will use the mobile application, so we get the benefit of the offline capabilities in case the Wi-Fi is not strong in certain areas of the warehouse. They can continue to work, and then the information goes as soon as they get reconnected. So the old process to the new for this one, like I said, it was about 3 hours before to do 1 shipment. Now they can do it in 20 minutes. It was very manual process of validation. We would get every once in a while a shipment that would go out and they'd say, okay, this seal number doesn't match the drum. It had never been changed. It just was never recorded correctly from the beginning. So, those kind of issues and trying to deal with our customers to make sure we get that sorted out. They don't have to deal with that any longer. And the user experience, you could see before, sad, now they're happy. Again, this is another one where they really, really love the solution and they're excited about it. So it's a great benefit for us. The next one is the warehouse inventory management. We used to use Cyclo. We actually still do use Cyclo right now, but we're looking to replace it because it was running on the older symbol technology, and they're getting away from supporting it from an SAP side unless we upgrade to a new whole warehouse management system that's going to be very expensive. So we're like, instead of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars with SAP and putting in something that no one's going to like, how about we use Neptune? So we're working with Nimble again. We're going to roll it out, and this will allow them to be able to go through all of their bins throughout the warehouse to scan the barcodes on the bin location, enter the quantities of the current counts, go back into SAP, reconcile if there were any variances. And also on the kitting side, once someone submits work that needs to be done, it'll go to our warehouse and they can say they need all of these parts in a kit. Someone's going to come pick them up. They can take the mobile device, go around, scan the different locations in the warehouse for the parts that they need to grab, enter how many of the parts that they're getting, and it makes sure that they're getting the right parts for the right work order. And they can kit it all up and have it ready for the maintenance person whenever they come to the warehouse to pick it up to do their job. And that's it. I mean, there's many other things that we've identified that we'd like to use Neptune for, but those are just a few of the key projects that we've worked on. And, if anyone had any questions, I'd be willing to go through that now, or you can find me later and we can discuss it then.